And he says the work he's doing on himself will help him fulfill a lifelong dream. And you write a lot about you want to be a husband one day. You have a rather famous relationship coach.
Oh, yeah. Yes, Michelle Obama. She has definitely helped talk me through just certain moments of relationships. We had conversations, and she has given me a lot of wisdom. But one great thing that she told me as I was going through this journey was that you have to understand you're not going to get anybody that's perfect because you're not perfect. So understand that there's some certain things that you will compromise in choosing that partner. But as long as the core values, the values that are most important to you, that person, marks off on that list, then you good.
She gave you some good advice there.
That's good wisdom.
That's some really good wisdom.
Did Colin just get caught red-handed, creeping on Jennifer Hudson? Because Tiffany Haddish sure thinks so, and she's been roasting Jennifer without holding back. Everybody knows Tiffany's still salty that Common dipped on her for J. Hud, and now it looks like she's finally getting her revenge in the pettiest way possible. The street's been screaming for a while now, warning J. Hud that Common ain't the Prince Charming she thought he was. His dating history is one long trail of broken hearts, and word is, she might just be the latest addition. The whispers out here? Common already got a new lady on his arm, and J. Hud's been spiraling ever since. And guess who's eating this drama up like it's her favorite snack? Tiffany Haddish, of course. The bitter ex energy is so strong, she's not even trying to hide it. She's been sliding in sly little jabs at J. Hud, making sure everyone catches the shade. But the real tea, why would Common step out on J. Hud of all people? Who's this mystery woman he's flaunting now? And here's the million-dollar question. Is Tiffany actually plotting to slide back into Common's life now that the door's cracked open? We're about to dig deep and break this all down. Because honestly, no shade, but anyone watching from the outside could see this mess coming from a mile away. Common's just never been the forever type, no matter how much he pretends otherwise. His whole dating history says it loud. High-profile flings, quick breakups, and a resume full of commitment issues. But still, fans were holding on to that little hope, thinking J. Hud might be the one to finally lock Common down, the one who'd make him slow his roll, settle in, maybe even start a whole new family. Well, that fairy tale's looking real dead right now. Word in the streets is Common's been out here cheating on J. Hud heavy, and she's crushed. What makes it wilder is just weeks ago, this man was on interviews, grinning, telling the world she's the one, and even hinting about marriage. But while he's saying all that sweet talk on camera, he's allegedly been out here swinging that charm all over the city. Plenty of people feel for J. Hud right now. But Tiffany Haddish? Oh, she is absolutely not one of them. Sources are saying Tiffany's been eating up every second of this cheating scandal playing out in public. And if you followed her moves since she split with Common, you know this ain't shocking at all. She's never been shy about showing she's still low-key hung up on him. Even after all these years, she's thrown more than a few shady shots. And some made it pretty clear she believed Common had already been messing with J. Hud while they were still a thing.
Girl, he never gave me no damn earrings. He probably gave us to Jennifer.
Like that one time on Instagram Live when a fan told her they'd given Common a pair of earrings to pass on to her. Tiffany didn't even pause before firing back with pure, bitter energy. She straight up told that fan, "Girl, he never gave me no damn earrings. He probably handed those to Jennifer." And honestly, if J. Hud was messing with Common while he was still with Tiffany, that would explain every ounce of shade Tiffany's been throwing for years. Suddenly, her little smirks and side comments make perfect sense. It would also explain why she's savoring every second of this cheating scandal like it's her favorite dessert. To Tiffany, this isn't just gossip. This is karma hitting right on schedule. But here's where it gets messy. Some fans think this whole situation might be Tiffany's golden chance to slide back in. She's made it crystal clear she's still stuck on him, and the idea of him having a rumored side chick definitely wouldn't scare her off. If anything, she'd be like, "Come here, baby, and let's talk."
Well, I think once Tiffany and I got back on the move, it really didn't allow for us to spend as much time and put as much energy into our relationship. I don't think the love really dispersed. I just think it was just like we weren't feeding the relationship.
When they first started dating, it was obvious Tiffany was way more invested than Common ever was. She's the one who pushed for them to go public during the pandemic, quarantining together and showing him off every chance she got. Even during an Instagram Live with Dwyane Wade and Gabrielle Union, she tilted that camera just enough to make sure everybody saw her man. Tiffany was all in, planning, posting, and pouring her heart out. For his first birthday they spent together, she went all out and even told interviewers about her dream date. "I just want me and my man to go hot air ballooning and have a nice little meal." She wasn't just dating, she was building a fantasy. She even joked in interviews, "That's what I like to do. On my 39th birthday, I got drunk with my grandma, never done that before. My 40th, I had a bat mitzvah, super fun. And for 41, I wanted to go up in a hot air balloon." But here's the kicker. Not only did Common completely skip the whole hot air balloon dream, he didn't plan anything for her birthday. Sources say he sent her some flowers, but let's be real, that's the bare minimum you can do for your woman's big day. Tiffany wasn't just thinking about a little romance either. She was hinting about the future. She even said she wanted him to propose, not with a ring, but with an apartment building, a whole property. She had her hopes sky high, but Common's reaction pretty much made it clear he was only there for a good time, not for a lifetime. So when the split happened just a couple months later, nobody was shocked. Fans were low-key relieved. Tiffany had finally broken free from Common's chokehold. But here's the twist. Common was actually the one who pulled the plug, then had the nerve to spin it like it was all about busy schedules. Tiffany wasn't about to let Common slide with that busy schedules excuse. She clapped back with her own version, saying, "He might just be the type of person who never really settles down with anybody. Maybe he's like a bee, going from flower to flower to flower." She even added, "I wish nothing but joy and happiness."
Do what's good for me and the lady. You know, right now all I want is happiness, good times, peace on earth.
But let's be real, that little sting in her tone had people thinking she was hinting that Common might have stepped out on her. She didn't drop the full bomb back then, but when Common popped up with J-Hud, she made sure to speak on it again in interviews. She called him the healthiest, the funnest relationship I ever had, where I felt the safest out of all my relationships. But then she dropped the kicker. The breakup wasn't mutual. It was him saying, "I think this relationship is running its course." And I was like, okay, you gonna be a 50-year-old single man? Okay. Now fans are side-eyeing hard, wondering if Tiffany's watching J-Hud get the exact same play she got. But here's the thing, Tiffany and J-Hud aren't the only ones. Common's heartbreak resume goes way back, and the list is stacked. Serena Williams, Taraji P. Henson, Erykah Badu, and more. The pattern's always the same. Just when the woman's getting attached, he hits her with a psych, ends it cold, and bounces to the next. And what's really telling, almost none of his exes keep things friendly after the breakup. Especially Erykah Badu. And that's because word is he did her dirty too. For context, Erykah and Common started dating back in 2000 and stayed together for about 2 years. But by late 2002, she decided she'd had enough and called it quits. At first, Erykah kept their breakup details locked up tight. But Common? He had no problem spilling his version to the world. He claimed the split happened because she caught feelings for somebody else and dumped him over the phone. According to him, she handed it to me. I was in my hotel room on tour, and she called me like, "Hey, I don't want to be in this relationship no more." I'm like, "It's somebody else." He called Erykah his first love and his first heartbreak. He even admitted, "With Erykah Badu, that was my first love where you just open and floating." When we split, I was 27 or 28. I was in a haze, just going through the motions. It was hard, but here's where the tables turn. Eventually, Erykah got tired of him running the narrative and painting her as the villain. So she threw a little hint that maybe he wasn't so innocent. She said, "No, infidelity is not a deal breaker for me. We are all born sexual beings. I myself am not someone with a very high libido. I need companionship, a partner I can depend on, that I can love and grow with. But I do understand the nature of these men I have been with, and men in general. They have a need to chase. Translation. Even though he allegedly cheated, Common still made it sound like she was the one who messed up. That's manipulative 101, flipping the story to protect his image. And this isn't just a one-off. This man's got a track record for it. After his split with Angela Rye, suddenly he's in interviews talking about therapy, personal growth, and how he's finally ready to be a better partner. Real convenient timing for a rebrand, right? Judging by how things went down with J. Hud, all that therapy talk clearly didn't stick. He might as well ask his therapist for a full refund. It's wild to think he was out here doing interviews, making it seem like J. Hud was the one, all while allegedly creeping behind her back the whole time. And what makes it sting even more? Jennifer has already been through more than enough heartbreak in her life. She did not deserve that. You remember her relationship with wrestler David Otunga, right? Things took a devastating turn when Jennifer's mom, brother, and young nephew were tragically unalived by her brother-in-law just weeks after she got engaged. It was an unthinkable loss, and Jennifer needed someone solid to lean on. David stepped up, at least at first, staying by her side, planning little getaways to help her breathe again and find moments of peace. Then, in what felt like a spark of light in endless darkness, Jennifer got pregnant later that year. By 2009, they welcomed their son, David Jr. For a while, it looked like their little family was falling perfectly into place. But by 2010, after more than 2 years engaged, people started wondering when they'd actually tie the knot. Rumor had it they were set to marry that year, but they pushed it back and kept pushing. Eventually, it all fell apart, and their breakup was far from quiet. Jennifer claimed that in the final stretch, David's behavior took a sharp, disturbing turn. She accused him of becoming aggressive, threatening, and harassing toward both her and their son. She even alleged that things escalated into both mental and physical abuse, a dark chapter that left scars long after the relationship ended. As things fully spiraled, Jennifer claimed David sent her chilling messages that shook her so badly she called security, telling them to keep him from showing up at the studio and making a scene. Thankfully, he never showed there. But later that day, things allegedly took a darker turn. According to Jennifer, David was waiting at home. She says he confronted her, grabbed their son by the arm, and led him upstairs to the master bedroom, then shoved her out and shut the door while still holding their child's hand. That was the breaking point. And honestly, J. Hud absolutely deserved better than that. But now we gotta ask, was Common really an upgrade? Because looking at the track record, it's hard to believe he was ever going to be the good one. Now she's just the latest name on a long list of women he's left heartbroken. And in true Common fashion, it's only a matter of time before he soft launches the next relationship like nothing happened. Meanwhile, Tiffany, she's eating up every second of this mess. She's not just throwing shade, she's making sure the whole world gets a front row seat. Jennifer's name is smack in the middle of the drama. Common's out here flaunting his new flame, and Tiffany's acting like the director of this entire show. So here's the real question. Was this just playful shade? Or did Tiffany rip the bandage off wounds J. Hud still hasn't healed from? One thing's for sure, two things for certain. This story's far from over. And trust me, the next chapter is about to be even messier. If you're ready for the real tea, make sure you like, subscribe, share, and drop your thoughts in the comments. And I'll see you in the next one.